The human being must learn to give thanks again.
It is absolutely necessary for the human beings of Earth to think about learning to give thanks again. In today's fast-moving times, in which a lack of consideration from one human being to another prevails, the simplest rules of decency are disregarded, including the rule of giving thanks for everything that is worth giving thanks for. Many things can be worthy of thanks, be it small gifts or attentions, all kinds of handouts, good and kind words, assistance, work, advice, or anything else, even if it is only a small thing. From the book, To Live Life Rightly, Across the Existence, page 147, Für die Menschen der Erde ist es unbedingt notwendig, dass sie darüber nachdenken, wieder das Danken zu lernen. In der heutigen schnellebigen Zeit, in der auch eine Beachtungslosigkeit von Mensch zu Mensch vorherrscht, werden die einfachsten Regeln des Anstandes missachtet, so auch die Regel des Dankens für alles, was des Dankens wert ist. Des Dankens wert sein können gar viele Dinge, seien es kleine Geschenke oder Aufmerksamkeiten, allerlei Handreichungen, gute und liebe Worte, Hilfestellungen, Arbeiten, Ratgebungen oder sonst irgendetwas, auch wenn es sich nur um eine Kleinigkeit handelt. Das Leben richtig leben quer durchs Dasein, Seite 147.
In this article, Billy states that human beings on this planet often forget to give thanks for the fulfillment of their real or imagined needs for all kinds of necessary, luxurious, and unnecessary items. Their needs have increased, and with that their expectations, but gratitude doesn't always seem to increase at the same rate. Billy gives the example of customers often forgetting to thank the salesperson for their effort and advice, but are happy to accept their gratitude for the purchase. And most of us can probably find examples of how a fellow human being seems to take things for granted without showing any gratitude.
This lack of gratitude, which is prevalent everywhere today, fundamentally prevents good and loving interpersonal relationships, so that no valuable bonds can develop between one human being and another. On the contrary, indifference arises from one human being to another, so that the dreary fate of one leaves the other cold, because no connecting roots of attachment have been planted, and no words of thanks have been spoken. Page 148. Durch diese in heutiger Zeit allenthalben vorherrschende Fehlen des Dankens werden gute und liebevolle zwischenmenschliche Beziehungen grundlegend verhindert, folglich keine wertvollen Verbundenheiten mehr zwischen Mensch und Mensch entstehen können. Im Gegenteil entsteht eine Gleichgültigkeit von einem zum anderen Menschen, so das triste Schicksal des einen den anderen kalt lässt, weil keine verbindende Wurzeln der Verbundenheit geschlagen und keine Worte des Dankes gesprochen wurden.
So according to Billy, a lack of gratitude is not just bad manners, but can lead to indifference between human beings and to a lack of caring for the fellow human beings. The simple act of giving thanks and showing gratitude can strike deep roots of human connectedness, which brings to fruition love, equality, honor, feeling for others, and so on. When trees and shrubs strive upwards towards the sun, their roots grow stronger and deeper and provide them with a firm hold. We ought to learn from that, because the greater their desires in life, and by that not only material things are meant, the stronger the roots need to be so they can withstand the strong winds and storms of life and receive support from fellow human beings. One way to achieve this is by increasing the gratitude one feels and expresses. Gratitude can reduce terrible things like war and terrorism, and can increase love, peace, harmony, and freedom. And we have to keep reminding ourselves how important every one of our thoughts, words, and actions are with regard to our personal evolution, and that they must be controlled and directed along the right lines. From the Goblet of the Truth, chapter 25, page 465.
263. You shall recognize yourselves by your own values, by your thoughts and feelings, by your deeds, by your activities, and by everything you do, to which your words and speeches that you make in the daily life of your earthly existence also belong. Thus also your thoughts and feelings belong to your doing, which in their effects must not be underestimated. So you cannot think that thoughts and feelings are duty-free, and in this regard you think that you cannot be brought to account for them, because they take place on a level that is unreachable through material hands and courts. But therein you delude yourselves in the wise, because you will be called to account for them sooner or later in yourselves.
Thanking another person or not creates quite different outcomes for oneself, and one also bears responsibility for others' good and bad deeds according to these verses from the same chapter.
270. Through your thoughts and feelings alone, you humankind of Earth, you are involved in many good and bad actions of your fellow human beings without being conscious of it, because you do not strive for the cognition of the things, and not for their truth, but go forth irresponsibly and unconcernedly in the life. 271. Consider, you, as humankind of Earth, are a we form, and as such are connected more or less with one another through your thoughts and feelings as well as through your subconsciousness. And as you nourish and cherish negative or positive thoughts and feelings, so they strengthen themselves once you call them forth. And in this strengthening they can strike any of your fellow human beings, through which they awake something resting in them that they bring to the course effect, although they had never previously thought about bringing it out and realizing it. Therefore, you comprehensively bear the responsibility for your thoughts and feelings also for your fellow human beings, at least for those who are influenced through your mental and feeling-based impulsations, and thereout carry out corresponding deeds or call forth thoughts and feelings in themselves of the same kind. 272. So many of your fellow human beings very often have thoughts and feelings in them, or carry out actions that in their origin lead back to you yourselves, and that through the strengthening take effect in the others, and call forth the corresponding reactions, which they then themselves reject and condemn, although they, like you, are also jointly responsible for them in accordance with the creational laws and recommendations, because they nonetheless act from out of themselves with the foreign thoughts and feelings that are striking them. And thus you can have thoughts and feelings for any things in you that you would never carry out into deeds, etc. However, your fellow human being who has been struck by your thoughts and feelings, and who is not able to work them out and bring them under control, does carry them out. Goblet of the Truth, page 467.
Therefore, it is not only important to give thanks for everything one receives from creation, nature, other human beings, animals, and so forth, in order to increase peace, harmony, love, etc., but also to rein in any negative thoughts that one might have, inconsiderate, careless, greedy, and other thoughts, because even if one does not act on a negative thought, the energy of it could be picked up by another consciousness and call forth a negative reaction. And seeing that swinging waves travel fast and great distances, they can even strike a person on the other side of the world. This shows the great responsibility we have with regard to our thinking.
274. You must therefore clean yourselves and become stable and strong in a good and positive wise in your thoughts and feelings, because only therethrough will the many crimes and unrighteousnesses as well as ausartungen of all kinds happen less and decrease more and more, of which many amongst you are heavily co-guilty without you knowing it, because you do not care about it, and also do not know the truth. 275. Consider, the swinging waves of your thoughts and feelings always impinge there, where they come upon equalities, therefore upon thoughts and feelings of the same or similar kind, in which case, distance is of no significance, since the swinging waves are so fast that they hurry around the world in a fraction of a second, and strike your fellow human beings at the farthest parts of earth, and bring about new effects in them. Goblet of the Truth, page 467.
Worrying too much about conspiracy theories, or the next move by the global elite that may be detrimental to us, can also give them negative energy and make them stronger. Therefore, it is important to focus on having good thoughts of peace, love, harmony, freedom, and to focus on living in harmony with nature, fauna, flora, and with our fellow human beings. A good starting point could be showing gratitude for everything, the teaching of creation energy, our teachers, for the love and concern of fellow human beings, for the workers in the factories that produce goods for our daily needs, for the sun and rain that grow our plants, for the insects that pollinate our plants, but also for the insects that want to destroy our plants, because they also teach us something, and so on and so forth. Thank you for reading and for your support.
Vipka Walder